Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our Rumors Roundup today. Also adding a little bit of a new segment called News and Views. Going to recap things that have happened around Michigan football in the past few days, give you my thoughts on them. We are presented today by Reveal Suits. I am lucky enough to be the only person on planet Earth with one of these Reveal Suits coats. We're going to hold them up. You can take your cell phone, put it in the pocket. Everybody gets to see you are repping maize and blue. If you act now, before end of day Sunday, all you got to do is send them an email. info@revealsuits.com. They're going to give you $100 off the price of this premium suit jacket. Outside of the inside, the Michigan Reveal inside, it's one of the nicest sports coats, the nicest I've ever owned in my life. Get that email out before Sunday. You will lock in that $100 off rate. You tell them that James Yoder from Chat Sports and the Michigan Football Report sent you. Let's get into news and views, kind of recapping what's going on with Michigan football. Dylan McCaffrey is the official backup quarterback, although Jim Harbaugh said that Brandon Peters was the backup to start the year. Harbaugh, said after game one before game one that Peters was the backup. McCaffrey got the snaps in game one against Notre Dame when Shea Patterson went out briefly a couple of times with injury, and then Dylan McCaffrey got the backup, the scrub time stats against Western Michigan last week when Michigan was up big time. McCaffrey with a touchdown pass in that game, and Brandon Peters did not take any snaps in either game. Harbaugh said he was hurt. I'm not going to call Jim Harbaugh a liar, but I am going to say that's a little bit exaggerated. I do think that Dylan McCaffrey has outplayed him throughout the second half of fall camp, and it certainly has shown more in games than Brandon Peters did in the bowl game against South Carolina. And as that, Dylan McCaffrey is your backup quarterback and maybe your quarterback of the future as early as 2019. Should Shea Patterson turn it around a little bit more in the passing game, show NFL scouts what they are looking for to make him a first-round draft pick after his junior year. All right, next up on Michigan football news and views, we've got a new commitment, an all-purpose back, a guy who could play slots, a guy who could take snaps in the backfield, maybe in that Jabril Peppers Wildcat formation, or a player who could take handoffs out of the backfield. He's an undersized player, Giles Jackson, out of Northern California. When Jim Harbaugh was the coach of the 49ers, he was in his diminutive years, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and now he is committed to the University of Michigan. Just started his senior year. He's one of the top 400 players in the country and the number 5 rated all-purpose back in the country. He has said he's going to try out playing like a slot-type role at Michigan, but we're going to get into a few minutes what this could mean for Michigan's other 2 running back commitments who are both 4 stars in this class, and what Giles Jackson's recruitment does for Michigan's recruiting class. What it does for him in the short term is you see the top 5 in the 2019 24/7 composite rankings is it moves Michigan back into the top 10. 22 committed players in this class. They are number 10 behind Auburn. You see Florida State, LSU, and Oklahoma, kind of round out that 10 up into number 6. And with that, Michigan is hot on the trail in recruiting once again as the season goes, and that leads us to a flip of Mike Morris to committed to Florida State for quite a while. Some rumors that we told you about here in the Michigan Football Report over the summer that he visited was maybe a very likely person to flip, visited this past weekend against Western Michigan and made it official. Likely some of the Florida State struggles on the field, losing their coach, Jimbo Fisher, who went to Texas A&M after last season, contributed to Morris coming over to the University of Michigan. Now, Jim Harbaugh is very good friends with the Florida State football coach. Some have called him the other Harbaugh brother, the third Harbaugh brother, but nevertheless, Florida State is struggling right now on the field. Willie Taggart has not got it going like he wants to right out of the gate there, and Mike Morris is coming in, kind of softening the blow of some other recruiting losses that Michigan has suffered with a decommitment most recently last month. So he is 6'5", 255 pounds, out of Delray Beach, Florida. He is the number 322 player and number 22 defensive end in the country, according to 24/7 Sports composite rankings. He will be in the maize and blue in 2019. Can you be in the maize in 2019? And if you want to be, if you want one of these bad boys for free, we are giving away 20 free maize jerseys. It's not just a freebie. I'm handing them out. One of our sponsors wants you to take action. They want you to be a member. If you DM me on Twitter, @JamesTYoder, I'm going to give you details. Very simple, and we will ship you a Maize jersey straight here from the Chat Sports Schembechler Hall Michigan Football Report studio. So go ahead and DM me. Just say, hey, James, how do I get the Maize football jersey? I will let you know. All right, let's go into our Michigan football rumor segment, our most popular segment that we've done over the past year or so. More Mayfield and Hudson. You know I've been screaming for these guys since early summer that Juwan Bushell-Beatty and Little John Runyon are not going to get the job done. Jim Harbaugh said it himself on his podcast, giving this one 4 Harbaugh heads. He said that he wants to see more of these guys. These guys played great, and they're like sharks in the water. When you play great, like Mayfield and Hudson did in the fourth quarter mostly against Western Michigan, that you have the opportunity to get more playing time, to build on that success. And as you see here, this is the quote from the Attack Each Day podcast, the Harbaugh's podcast. He says basically they played well, they're doing good, and once you have success in the game like those guys did, you're like a shark in the water. You want more. You just want the taste of competition, baby. I cannot wait to see more of Jalen Mayfield, more of Hudson, James Hudson, at left tackle, at right tackle. I don't think Little John is getting the job done. I don't think Juwan Bushell-Beatty is getting the job done either. So should Hudson and Mayfield be your starters at the tackle positions? We're 3 games in this Saturday. Have they proven enough? Or have the guys that are starting, have they proven so little that why not give these younger guys with more talent, more athleticism a shot? Go ahead and comment below if you're watching on Facebook Live, if you're watching on YouTube. I'm very active in the comments on YouTube. I'll kind of get in there, give you my thoughts. I think it's a no-brainer. If you've ever watched this show before, I think I've said Jalen Mayfield's name for about 37 shows in a row. He needs to be your starter at left tackle or at right tackle. He needs to be in the starting lineup. He is much better than the guys they have in the lineup right now. So go ahead and comment. All right, Michigan, do they lead for 5-star safety Daxton Hill? He goes by Dax. If you're looking it up, you might see Daxton. But this is the new rumor out there. I have no inside sources. I've told you before, I'm not your main guy in recruiting. I do have sources from time to time. But what I've been told and what I've read elsewhere and what people have sent me is the tea leaves are trending in the right directions. It's definitely down to Michigan or Alabama. Hill says he knows where he wants to go, and he will be in Ann Arbor this Saturday when they play SMU. So Dax Hill, a top 15 player in the country. He was top 10 for a while. 24/7's got him at number 12 in the composite. Number 1 safety in the country. He is a true game breaker. He's the kind of guy that you always see schools like Alabama or Ohio State having, and you want to say, gosh, dang, I wish we had a guy like that at the University of Michigan. Dax Hill is that kind of player, number 1 safety in the country. He will be in Ann Arbor this Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Can Michigan close the deal? Would he make the trip? Would he make the trip to Michigan? Telling reporters in the past couple of days he knows where he wants to go. If he didn't want to go to Michigan, I couldn't say, but the tea leaves for me are reading towards that direction, that this could end up being the gem of Michigan football class. When I give things a Harbaugh head, when I say 1 head, when I say 2 Harbaugh heads, 3 Harbaughs, what in the heck do I mean? This is what we've become known for. I see people tweeting me things like fact all the time on the internet. 0 Harbaugh heads. That means it's totally false. Fake news! We're going to get to one of those in a second. 2 Harbaugh heads. Small shred of truth. We're not buying it just yet. 2 Harbaugh heads. 50-50. People are talking. 3 Harbaugh heads means it's pretty likely. And if we give it the 4 Harbaugh heads, that means it is F-A-C-K, fact. That is how Jim Harbaugh spells it. That is how we spell it here at Chat Sports and the Michigan Football Report. Let's get on to our next rumor. Is Zach Harrison, formerly the number 2 player in the country. Now he's dropped down to number 4 in the 24/7 composites. The best player in the Midwest, is a leaning back to Ohio State. People are talking on this one. If we could figure out how to cut a Harbaugh head in half, might give this one 2 Harbaugh heads, 2.5 Harbaugh heads. No one has figured out how to chop a Harbaugh head in half and have the Harbaugh heads still live. So for right now, giving it 2 Harbaugh heads. Zach Harrison, with Urban Meyer not getting fired, with him still being able to be around the program. And actually, I was told he is still allowed to be around for recruiting visits the last 2 weeks. He can still meet with prospects on campus. The only thing he can't do, of course, is be on the sidelines on Saturday or in the locker room during the game. Zach Harrison, it seems that Michigan may have lost their window of opportunity should Urban Meyer have been suspended for the season or anything worse than that. And as such, I think he's going to ultimately end up at Ohio State now that Urban Meyer is going to remain with the Buckeyes. And, of course, given that Michigan didn't get a commitment from Harrison, in this period of uncertainty. Really, the past 6 weeks, Ohio State has lived under a cloud of uncertainty with the future of Urban Meyer, and then who the head coach is he going to be the coach for a long time? And as such, I believe they've missed their window. I believe that he's going to end up at Ohio State. I do think that Penn State could make a jump in here at the very end, but as for now, I'm calling him to Ohio State. Hope I'm wrong, but it's just 2 Harbaugh heads as of now. Next up, we told you Giles Jackson from California, from Northern California, coming to Michigan, just committed. What does that mean for Eric Gray? Keep an eye on this one. I don't want to make any crazy predictions, but the tea leaves are being read on this one. The rumor out there is he is going to visit Ole Miss. Maybe Michigan put the gas onto Giles Jackson because they knew that Eric Gray was not going to be part of this class. This is a big get. He's one of the best running backs in the country. Eric Gray from the state of Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, 4-star running back, top 225 player overall. If he visits Ole Miss, which he may very, very soon, if you see Eric Gray is taking a visit to Ole Miss, ladies and gentlemen, I think you can kind of consider him gone if he makes that trip. I do not think he will be in the University of Michigan. Football program will be in a maize and blue uniform come September in 2019. So keep an eye out for Eric Gray. We've got 3 big-time running backs committed to this class right now. Could one of them decommit? Could Eric Gray be on their way out? And maybe the coaches think that. That's why they're still recruiting all-purpose backs. So it could be wide receivers should Gray stick around with it. Keep an eye out for that one. I think it's something that is more than likely. That's why I gave it the 3 Harbaugh heads. Want to talk to you about Michigan football and the college football playoff. Everyone in the country, myself included, was down on this team after the Notre Dame loss, but it is not crazy to think that they could, turn things around, win out from here. Plenty of teams, Ohio State, Penn State, other teams that have lost in September have gone on to win the Big Ten. If Michigan wins the Big Ten, I would say it's very likely they will make the college football playoff. Look at these odds from our partner, BetDSI, plus 4,700. All you got to do is bet $10, ladies and gentlemen, to win $470. You put 100 on it, $4,700 just to make the playoff. Not to win the national championship, to make the playoff. Go ahead, chatsports.com/bet at BetDSI. I'll take you right there. Use the promo code GOBLUE. You'll get 120% cash bonus when you sign up and make a deposit today. You can put $10 on Michigan. Big time wins if you go ahead and if they go ahead and make the playoffs. Always fun to have a little bit extra side money on the line when it comes to your favorite team, the Michigan Wolverines. Is Jim Harbaugh headed back to the NFL? One Harbaugh head in this one. I want to call it fake news, but you got to give some credence to the fact that Jim Harbaugh has never coached for anywhere more than 4 seasons. He is now at season 4 at the University of Michigan. So with that being said, I can't just call it crazy. I can't just call it fake news because you never know. But a Bucknuts reporter, I'm not going to mention the guy's name, not because I don't want to say it because I just forget what his name is, but Bucknuts.com, a big-time Ohio State football recruiting and inside information site, put an article out 2 days ago that basically said Jim Harbaugh, from NFL scouts and personnel people they know, he is kind of gearing up to go back to the NFL after the 2019 season. And as such, Michigan will be looking for a new head coach. He doesn't think that Michigan's all it's cracked up to be, and it wasn't what he expected when he came in. Yada, yada, yada. His heart's in the NFL. One Harbaugh head. I want to call it fake news, but we'll see how this one goes. Next up on the list is Aubrey Solomon. Week to week, like Jim Harbaugh said in his press conference Monday. This one is fake news. Jim Harbaugh, I got to call you out on this one. No one gets knee surgery and returns to a game 8 days later. This is just a physical impossibility as far as I'm concerned for a 300-pound plus defensive lineman like sophomore Aubrey Solomon is. Now, he got benched for the opener. He was not a starter as he was slated to be in the opener. Lawrence Marshall kind of beat him out. We saw some other guys in there and the defensive line, but I'm calling this one fake news. He is not going to be back for at least 6 weeks. If you see him back for the Wisconsin game, you're lucky. Michigan State, maybe. It might not even be till Penn State. 6 to 8 weeks for Aubrey Solomon. Michigan's, who were once presumed starting offensive lineman, got surgery last Friday and now is back. On the injured list. He's on the injured list for at least 6 to 8 more weeks. So don't expect, no matter what Jim Harbaugh says, for Aubrey Solomon to be week to week. He is out for an extended period of time, just like Tariq Brack with his foot. Aubrey Solomon will not be in the field anytime soon. Predict the score, ladies and gentlemen. Predict the score. Michigan hosting SMU on Saturday, 3:30 Eastern at the Big House. I want to give away some money. 2 weeks in a row I've offered this out there on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on my Twitter account. No one can predict Michigan scores. I've had thousands of people answer this question now. 0 people got the score. You put it below in comments, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, but you gotta DM me because there's so many comments that come through on these shows. I can't keep track of them all. DM's a little easier to understand, a little easier to kind of keep your eyes on. DM me to qualify. The first person to get the score right, I gotta go alphabetical or time stamped, I guess there. So if someone else guesses the same score as you, I gotta give them a shout out. But go ahead and DM me right now up until game time what the score will be and who will win the game. Next up on our Michigan football rumors list, are parents upset with playing time, and did they express that to Jim Harbaugh and other Michigan coaches after the Notre Dame game? I've got 3 Harbaugh heads on this one. I've been talking to someone who works with one of the parents of a younger Michigan football player, and the basic word coming out of the Notre Dame game was, hey, look, there were some players that underperformed, most notably on the offensive line, most notably at some other positions, let's just say the secondary and some other things, that didn't perform up to par. And as such, Michigan football parents of some of the younger players thought their son should get a shot. There's no mutiny going on here. There's nothing that you've got to worry about as far as guys transferring as of now, but they did communicate to Jim Harbaugh, hey, why'd you keep that guy in front of my son, and what's the deal going forward? Will my son get a fair shot playing this year? And if not, you should tell me that and tell my son that. But as of now, there's some parents upset, but after the win, winning cures all. As they keep the wins rolling, you won't hear much more about there. I want to show you guys my suit. I'm going to put my phone in my back pocket so I can show you this bad boy. Look at this. Imagine going to the wedding with this coat. You've got the Michigan football maize and blue, the logos on the inside. You roll up your sleeves. You want to be a cool guy? You got Michigan maize and blue and the Michigan logo, Black M in the sleeves. It's brought to you by Reveal Suits. You've got a few more days. You got till Sunday. All you got to do is send an email, say, I want to buy that Michigan football reveal coat. Send me the information on how to buy it. You can get $100 off. info@revealsuits.com. Don't miss on this. Don't pay full price. You don't be a schmuck and pay full price. Get the $100 off. Reveal Suits, info@revealsuits.com. Just ask them, how do I get the Michigan football reveal suits for the $295 price? I don't want to pay full price. Yoder sent me and told me so. All right. Quinn Nordine, next up. I've been talking about this all fall camp long. He is still struggling. I'm giving this one 3 Harbaugh heads. Hasn't really had to kick as much as you might expect through 2 games, but I have been told he's still taking kicks every once in a while with his left foot, kind of as a joke, but kind of not as a joke anymore. He is still shanking kicks left and right. He's had an okay, performance. We've seen actually Michigan's kickoff guy, funny enough, get some booming kicks out of the end zone. I'm not saying Nordine should be replaced, but this is something to be concerned about. Nordine got such a hot start in 2017 with those 250-yarders against Florida. Was kind of really consistent all year, had the hiccups mid-season, and really came into his form by end of year, but it's had a tough summer, a tough fall camp, and now we're into the season, not kind of getting past that as of now. If Michigan's in a close game, maybe in a couple weeks against Nebraska, maybe into October when you've got Northwestern, I guess that's end of September, but you got Wisconsin, Michigan State. Quinn Nordine is vital to this team achieving its goals, and he better get it together. 3 Harbaugh heads on this one. All right, next one. Could Brad Hawkins be a starter? The actual quote we just couldn't fit on the screen is I'm going to pull this one up here, will be a starter at some point this season. A source told to me he is now listed as the backup at both safety positions because he has played so well. Got almost the whole Notre Dame game after Josh Metellus got that kind of bogus targeting call in the early parts of that game. Came in and played well outside of that jump ball that he missed over an undersized Notre Dame player that he should have definitely won the ball on. But 3 Harbaugh heads that Brad Hawkins is going to continue to play well. I have a source inside the program that knows kind of what's going on and says, look, if he keeps playing well, he's going to unseat one of these guys at the safety positions, and he should be a starter at some point in this season. So keep an eye out for that one. I think Brad Hawkins is a heck of a player, and I would love to see him get in the starting lineup over Michigan's kind of subpar safety play that we have seen over the last few, over the last decade, but certainly this season and throughout the last few seasons with the guys we have on there right now at safety. So those are our Michigan football news and views, our rumors, and I want to tell you about the dress shirt I'm wearing. I'm looking good. There's no doubt about that. Mizzen & Main Performance Fabric. It's the first time I've worn this shirt. It is stretchy dress clothes. It's stretchy dress shirts. I wear it to work. I can sweat. I can go to the gym. No worries. This and my reveal suit, you've got a winning combination for all of your Michigan football and business-related events that you're going to have. So Mizzen & Main, comfortable.af is the website. We will be back on Thursday with a Michigan versus SMU preview. I'll break down all the keys to the game, the stats, and everything like that. Until then, I will see you later, and go blue.